Welcome to the Journey Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this new episode. My name is Manzi, Mbaya, and I'm your host. You already know. I'm very excited this morning because I have someone special, a friend of mine and an artist that I really respect. And I'm very excited to welcome her in the studio. Jemima Kakizi, welcome to the Journey Podcast.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You know, you are one of the artists that I really feel like you're contributing a lot to the scene. You know,
Thank you.
And I'm just gonna say that this is a visual artist and a curator that I look everywhere. You know, every time I'm online, I'm like, oh, Jemima is curating something. And also you have a lot of artists on board. You know, let's not go further, but really welcome so much in this studio.
Thank you.
I feel really excited to have you here.
Happy to be here.
How are you feeling?
Feeling great.
Yeah.
Very ready to share my journey. Of
Nice.
course.
You know, every time I have always different people in the studio, and every time I'm gonna start a conversation, I'm always panicking because I'm like, okay, how am I gonna introduce this show? How am I actually gonna start this conversation? Because I feel like not only it's an episode where we're gonna inspire people, but it's very intimate, you know, because we're talking about your life, we're talking about our art, our craft, and everything. So I want you to feel like home. You know, this is the Journey space, and big shout out to the team behind the production. So yeah, karibu cyane.
Murakoze.
Yeah. So Jemima, today I want you to inspire us. You know, because you inspired me. And I was like, let me call you on the podcast. You know, there's so many people who follow your work, but they don't know, well, how did everything start? Like, Jemima, we see today. Like, how did you start your art? Being an artist, and like, byatangiye gute?
Yeah. So I think I would say that I found myself in the art.
Yeah.
But the first time I created, I was in primary school. You know, when you go to school and you come back with no buttons on your shirt, and then my mom would put them back using the hands, of course, because she knows how to sew with her hands. And at some point, I would do it a lot of times, but I would see how she does it. So one time I decided to put it back by myself because at some point I was tired of, not tired,
always
but she would always tell me, but urakubagana, this and that. And when I did it, it felt like an achievement or something, you know, because I could do it. I didn't know I would do it. Yeah. And I made it. So that's how I started. It was the first thing that I not creating really, but it inspired me to start using my hands to make some earrings, because we would always have the pieces of ikitenge at home or even in the neighborhood, and then I would create with what I had.
Wow.
I started making earrings.
How old were you?
Earrings at an early age. I was like 12 or even before, I don't remember, but I was in primary school. And after that, I would say that I found myself trying different things until when I was in secondary school, I went on Facebook. I saw these guys who went to École d'Art de Nyundo, and they were painting. I wrote to them. I told them, I'm interested in what you are doing. At first, I didn't know that I was going to learn. And then they told me, it's okay, you can come and visit the studio anytime. So I would go there because I was doing... I was in my last year at Aperugunga. Yeah. And in the afternoon, I had free time. So I would go see how they are creating and everything. But before, of course, I had already started to draw at school. Recently, someone I went to school with told me that I used to draw for them, but I didn't really remember that. So I would say that in the process, I've done different things. Because I also remember some of the books I had of the giraffe and other different animals that I would imitate, that I won from a competition. I don't remember which competition, but I always had things going on. I was a very curious
kid.
child. Yeah.
Nice.
Creating and learning different things, and also wanting to to learn, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did your family receive that?
My family, because I was good in school, I would always bring like, I was always like the first or second person in class. So it did not affect my performance in class. That's
Amazing.
why they were okay with whatever I was doing. Because,
That's
for
nice.
example, if I'm winning a competition, that's something they would be proud of, you know? They never thought about my artistic side being problematic because I was performing good in school.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, so nice. So at 12 already, you were an artist, actually.
Yeah, right.
Without
But
even you recognizing that you're an artist.
Exactly. You know, it's very interesting how when you are invited to talk about your journey, you get to realize a lot of things you never thought about before. Yeah. So that's how I started thinking, like, how did I start creating? What was the first thing I did? It came through, you know, the interviews when I'm trying to share my journey, but it's something I never thought about before. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. So now you're starting to learn to draw. Like, do you mind sharing who are the people who showed you?
So before, I think I started both at the same time because I was also into the fashion industry a lot. And because I was making earrings before, and I would draw some stuff at home on walls in my room, yes, and put some paint. And then when I got to meet them, I met Serge Saba and Cesarano Onésime. They went to École d'Art de Nyundo, and they were the one who were, you know, assisting, showing me how to use the paint, this and that. I learned a lot from them.
Amazing.
And and they were really nice, and I wasn't paying any penny. It was free, which I think is very important. When I remember how I started and everything, I've got support from different people, like Bidasa. He's a very famous artist
I know
in
Bidasa.
Rwanda. Yes. And other people, even my family members, they would buy things from me. Like I was working with tailors to make outfits from Igitenge, and they were my first buyers or support. They supported me along my journey. It's something I always remember. And I always encourage people, when you have a child who is talented, you know, support him or her, because it gives you the sense of, I can do this, you know, if my family, because everything starts at home. So if my family believes in me, you can't tell me nothing.
True.
Yeah, so it means that I will go there with the confidence and I will perform and I will get better because I know that I have the support and people believe in what I do. So when you start making money, it's even something else.
Much better.
Yeah, so I have had support from different people. The people I meet who believe in my work, but it's, you know, it's very important to if you can support someone, even a word of encouragement is something that is valuable. So it's, I think it has helped me on my journey to grow, to believe in myself, because it's also important. So I would go to their studio, you know, learn with them, ask them questions. You know, I felt at home. It was I'm very grateful that I met them because
Honestly,
they helped me a lot on my journey.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And then I kept on creating. I was in the fashion industry and the visual art, of course. And then I remember when I was going to, when I started university, because I did Mount Kenya University, I remember that I had sold a painting.
Yeah.
And, you know, when they ask you who's going to pay for you, I'm like, I'm going to pay for myself. But I wasn't sure at some point, but I was like, I have the money. Why not? I said it. And after, I think that it encouraged me to work harder. I knew that at some point my family could do it, but why not me if I have the money to pay? So when I started, you know, I paid, of course, and then I continued. I would work on different things. I was able to work with different NGOs to create through art, learn through art. because I was still in the same industry, and I was also able to do the dress of Miss Rwanda 2012.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, so I've done very many things, and the journey was long.
And you're still on a journey.
Yeah, of course, of course, and I'm still here. But when I look back, I'm grateful for all the support I've gotten from people around me,
Greatness.
friends, family, and even people who believed in my work. So I think that until now, there are people I still work with that I started with because I value how they believed in me.
Yeah.
So the journey never ends. We are still here, of course, but a lot has changed. We have achieved a lot. And also, when I started doing visual art, I remember I only knew 3 women. One was learning, another one was practicing. And it was, I would say that it was the beginning of our journey for all of us. But I'm happy to say that when I say that I'm going to curate for an exhibition for women artists, because I'm a visual artist and I'm a woman, and we don't have enough visibility.
Yeah.
So I can get more than 50 women artists. But when I started, I knew 3 people.
Wow.
And there is another part about Rwandan art history that people don't know about. We only have one school of art, École d'Art de Nyundo.
Yeah.
And women were allowed to go to that school after 35 years
What?
when the school started. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, which explains why when I started, we did not know any visual woman artists we could look up to.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it's very important to have someone who looks like you doing something. It makes you believe that you can also do it.
Of course.
So
you need inspiration.
So I believe that on all the journey, things we have done, even if maybe we did not notice it, but we were inspiring the younger generation. I always tell them that they are lucky we are here. They can come to me anytime. They can ask me questions. I can guide them because I have the experience, but we did not have that chance. So they should use it, they should use it to learn new things, to get where they want to get. So things have been changing. The journey is still on, of course, but I'm happy for every step. Because now I can see that we have a lot of women in the visual arts, which also inspired us in 2020. It's something we have always talked about. So me, Krista Uwase, Odile, Uwera, and some other few artists I don't remember. Some of them are not in the art anymore. But I remember that we used to meet and talk about can we do something, talk about lack of visibility for women, if there is something we can create. But we were able to do it in 2020 when Krista and the Museum of Rwanda, they together with Goethe Institut, they curated a all-women exhibition that featured almost 40, I think it was 38, I don't remember well the exact number, but we were almost 40 women artists at the museum. So it was a Each for Equal exhibition that was opened on International Women's Day. It was during COVID, and most of the things were done online, virtual exhibition.
I think,
but it was.
Is there a page on Instagram?
Yes, Rwandan Women Artists. Yes.
Mm.
And then that exhibition inspired us because we came together. It inspired us to start the collective.
Yeah.
So we founded the collective of Rwandan Women Artists.
After the exhibition?
Yes.
Oh.
It's something we have always wanted to do, but I believe that was the right time to do it.
Amazing. I saw the page. Really nice.
So we created the Rwandan Women Artists Collective. We have a website. We are online. We have a website. We also have a page on Instagram. So the goal is just to come together, support each other, share opportunities, be visible so that people can know that we exist, we are here. So after that, of course, I was able to participate in different exhibitions as an artist myself. And then along the way, I have worked with different people in different. I also got opportunities to work outside of Rwanda. And then as an artist, of course, I could see that there were lack of visibility for women artists. And we would miss a lot of opportunities because people did not know that in Rwanda you could find women in the visual arts. So, which inspired me to start curating exhibitions. But I started curating exhibitions in 2022. Yeah, I remember my first exhibition was entitled At the Entrance, which is more on meet me at the entrance and, work with me in the room, see what I'm offering as a woman artist, what I think, the message I'm, putting out there, work with me on my journey.
Yeah.
So after that, I've been curating exhibitions. Even now, I have an ongoing exhibition of by Teta Shell.
That happened this weekend.
Yes, and it's still on until September 2nd. So it's a solo exhibition. It's a new project, and because I've been curating group exhibitions, but I said it's also important to do solo exhibitions, which was inspired by the part of Rwandan art history I told you about, of women not being allowed to go to École d'Art de Nyundo. And I said, if we can do, because when you do a solo exhibition, all eyes are on you, and then you have to give your best. So it's very interesting to see that you, Manzi, or any other artist can come. All the eyes are on you. You have to fill the room with your artworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not challenging, it's encouraging because you have to take time to work on the artworks and everything. So so far, so good. I've been, since I started curating exhibitions, I've gotten support from different people, and people love what we are doing. And I'm happy to see that women artists are getting opportunities. Some women got opportunities to work with during the Women Deliver.
Yeah.
To create as visual artists, different artworks. That's what we want. We want women to get the visibility and the money.
To be there, to represent us.
Exactly. Yes.
Amazing. What a journey. Wow. I feel like you're a change maker. You're a change maker, and it's always good to celebrate you. And also for you, you know that already, but also for people to actually get to understand that. Because if you tell me 35 years of not having women in Nyundo, that's sad.
I know.
Imagine, honestly, that's sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the performing area, we had Hope, we have Carol. Those are women who were there. But you look at the art.
Yeah, the visual arts.
There was no one.
Yeah.
Now today we have a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot.
And you know what made me happy? I once was on Instagram, and then I check on Miriam's work, and I'm like, wow, okay.
I know.
So from cinema, now you're here.
Yes.
I was really impressed. I was like, oh, okay.
She's a very good
Things
artist.
are happening, honestly.
Yes.
And I look at the page, I look at the visual art, I look at the photography, everything. I'm like, oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We are also working with photographers on my exhibitions. I also put that, because they are also in the visual arts.
Yeah.
And we know the struggle. It's the same. So there is an exhibition where I featured them. I have an exhibition that is still going on. It's about mental health. It's work with me on my journey to understand what I'm going through. How do we support each other in the community and understand what mental health is? How can I be the shoulder you can lean on? Yeah. So it's more on, because I'm very much interested in topics or things that to start conversation that can bring a change in our community. So those are the things I work on. So the exhibition, in that exhibition, I have 10 women artists, and It was a fixed exhibition for 3 weeks. Now it's moving in schools and youth center across Rwanda.
So anybody can access it.
Yes.
Amazing.
So we did different schools, universities, secondary school, youth centers, and we only have one remaining. We have to go to the southern province, but we featured 2 photographers as well. So we had photographers, visual artists who paint, and art installations as well. Yeah.
So nice. Now, this makes me curious to always, I only hear achievements, and people always just see results. They don't see actually the process. They don't see how
the struggle
goes for you to achieve that, all that strength that you have.
Yeah.
So now I want to go, as we said, as women, as a woman, you grow up at 12 years old. You are so curious. You trust your curiosity. You're there. You're playing around. You do your thing until you're here, But what are the struggles, that actually people don't see, in terms of like working or the mentality of people? Because for me, for example, I would tell you, like, as a performing artist, for so many years I've struggled to actually introduce myself. Just to introduce myself, to be like, yeah, I'm a dancer. You're a dancer? That's what you do for a living? You're a dancer? What a chase, huh? And for me, actually, to take time to explain to someone, yeah, I'm a performing artist, I'm a choreographer, I do it, this and this. I was like, I don't have time.
I know.
Because it was taking a lot of energy from me, Then at the end, I was like, yeah, I'm a dancer, that's it. Because I was like, for me,
if you don't understand, then you don't understand.
You don't. I don't have time to explain you. I'm just going to do my thing.
Yeah.
If one day at a time you get inspired, amazing.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering on your side, especially as a woman, right now I'm sure there's still a long, long way to go.
Yes.
But so far we can still celebrate the achievement.
Yeah, true.
And for me, I want you to share me, like, what are the struggles as a woman artist in Rwanda, and especially in Kigali, who is based in Kigali?
So without even going so far, because of course I'm going to share some of the challenges, I almost gave up. There is a time I said, you know what? I was doing art. I did not know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
But the struggle, the financial part was very hard. It's still hard now. You have to be passionate enough to stay in the arts.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I feel you.
We've been there.
Yeah.
So there is a time. So I was doing art, like I did not know how to do anything else. And then I remember that I did something at the Youth Connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was part of the organization. I don't remember how I got there, but I was part of it. And after they had the list of people, because first I was working, I was making money. I was able to pay for my university.
Yeah.
Life was good, I'll get gigs here and there. I was working with some international NGOs. I was okay.
Yeah.
Then at some point, there is a time that came and everyone started cutting costs. Yeah. Then, because I did not have a studio and I wasn't selling much artworks, I was getting the money, from projects, things like that. So those people, then I started struggling. Then that's when I did the Youth Connect gig for 2 months, I think. And then after, they've put me on a list of, people they were sent to do internships. Then they called me. I remember that time I went, I was not in Rwanda. And then when I came back, I was on that list and they called me. I think those people saw my CV because I have worked with them as an artist, as an art director.
Yeah.
And they said, if she can do an internship, we're going to take her. I came, they called me. I remember I cried because it was hard for me to take an internship.
Yeah.
But then at some point I was like, this is where life is leading me. Maybe there's something I can learn from there. Or maybe I will get an opportunity to be hired after the internship. Then I can save some money. It was never about me thinking my future is there. No, it was me thinking that if they hire me, I will save for 2 years and then go back in the arts, because at some point I will have money to rent a space or do this and that, work on my personal projects. Then they called me. I remember it was the hardest decision to make because I cried. I will never forget it. But I was looking at everything and I was like, what's next? What do I do? I'm failing. You know, it was very difficult. So I decided to take the internship. But lucky enough, during that internship, they would give me transport because they were, you know. But I was also making money as an artist aside. Yeah. So I did 6 months and they wanted to expand it. I'm like, expanding an internship? No, it's not happening. I said no and, you know, went on my, you know, things. But now when I look back, I'm grateful that I was able to take it because I learned a lot. It was hard for me. I did not know, like, why am I here? Seriously.
I feel you.
But I learned a lot when it comes to, because as an artist, we are always looking for opportunities. We are applying for residency. We are applying for you to grow. You have to do, you know, things. You have to learn from other artists. So we are, you know, applying for residency. We need to know how to get the funds as well.
Definitely.
To support our arts, you know. You might have a project, but you don't have money to do it. But there are some calls out there. So I learned, because I was working in the partnership, department. And, you know, I will always be looking for opportunities to apply, where the organization can apply, things like that. I learned a lot from that. But also it was challenging because some people knew me, that I worked with them as a consultant. They've seen me on TV. They've seen you everywhere. They've seen you in some magazines and you are doing an internship. It didn't make sense to some people.
That's true. I feel you.
I know. And I would feel it. But at some point I was like, I know what I want. Of course, I decided to come here and let me focus on what I'm learning more than. I remember that was the time a lot of people would call me for interviews and I would say I'm not available or something. Because I was there is a pressure it puts on you because you've been out there. And now things are changing. And people, they are confused. They don't understand, you know.
Yeah.
Some don't know you, which is good for those who don't know you. But some people have worked with you before and they can't, like, how? So when I thought about that, I'm like, you know, I was going to give up. It's been challenging. It's hard to live, to make a living selling your artworks in Rwanda as a visual artist. It's possible for some people, but most of us, we are struggling. That's why I'm happy now that we've been getting opportunities to work on different projects. So I learned the journey, of course. I have made T-shirts. I've worked with different projects. I've done different things, but same, staying in the visual arts because I realized that this is where I belong.
Yeah.
When I try something else, it's not for me. I'm not a person who's going to sit in the office the whole day.
No, because
I feel depressed, like this is not me, you know? So we learn along the journey, of course. And I always say that with the for example, last year, there is a gig I did in Kigali and in Morogoro. It's a place in Tanzania. And those people got to know me because of the exhibitions I curate. Yeah. So if I'm happy that now we are getting noticed.
Outside.
And also,
even.
yes, so even nice. Outside of Rwanda. And also we are able to work on projects and get the money. You can't only rely on selling your pieces to make a living. It's hard. It's still hard. So another challenge I would say is that most Rwandans don't understand the visual art we do. So visual art is not new in Rwanda. We have always had the imigongo. That art is very powerful. When you look at the lines and the geometric lines that makes imigongo and the mathematics behind and everything, it's very interesting. But they were only making imigongo. They are different. They have different meanings. So we came with a different art, which is maybe drawing a portrait using colorful colors, and it's different, art installations, all those are different. And people don't understand what we do, and some of them don't even seem to be very interested in what we do, which I also believe that as artists, there is a part we have to play.
Definitely, as
we
a way
should
to
bring people to the
them.
Arts. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we should bring the arts to the people, like the moving exhibition that I'm doing, which is moving in different part of Rwanda, because I believe that everyone can access art, and art is a powerful tool to teach, and it can get everywhere.
Definitely.
And if Rwandans understand what we do, and then it will be easy for them to support us. We need their support.
They also need art in their life.
Exactly.
I feel like if you have a life, you don't have any art in your life, your life is boring.
I know. And they have art, but at some point, they maybe not understand how important or how powerful art is. And then we're going to make them understand the role it's playing in their lives.
Yeah. So
when... As I was saying, of course, we need their support. We need them to understand what we do, So when I remember a few years ago, when we would have exhibitions and no one would come. Most of our clients were, people who are not out, foreigners, people who are not from Rwanda. But now I'm happy, very happy to say that Rwandans attend exhibitions. But most of them are youth. So we are also trying to see, how can we get the balanced, generation or people from different age to also be interested in what we are doing. So now I sell to Rwandans, to be honest.
Amazing. So even you have a Rwandan clientele.
Yes. Even in the current exhibition I have, the first person who bought a painting is Rwandan. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Yeah, things have changed, to be honest. Few years ago, things were different. Of course, we still have a challenge because not everyone is also interested. But those who are interested, they're coming to exhibitions. They're supporting us. Yeah. But we need more effort to make sure that, our people, because we get inspired by the people around us. My community inspires me. I want to live in a community that is better, Yeah. So how do we start those hard conversations? Because also as an artist, some of the things I focus on is to start conversations about taboo subjects. Yeah. So when I give you a very small example, the current exhibition is talking about sex education, romance, things like that. Nobody tell us how to navigate relationship. You grow up, you find yourself there, you deal with everything. Yeah. And some of the things we go through are, we are scared to share.
We are a reserved society, I feel like. So, which is not surprising me.
Yeah, but we how do we, having information help us to take... to make informed decisions. We have rates of teenage pregnancy because sex is a taboo subject. Yeah. Because, no one knows about protection or this and that except people who have access to information, who can read. We all don't have, friends we can talk those things with. Yeah. So how are the girls or even the boys, people in rural area, with a Christianity background, coming from a Christian family, this is a taboo. The only thing they tell you is that when you get closer or when you kiss a guy, you're gonna get pregnant. It has to change.
Right.
We can't be saying that in 2023.
Yeah, things need to change.
Yeah,
for sure.
so how do we need to talk about those things, openly, and create a safe space that is judgmental free, where people can share, say what they're going through, and learn from each other. Definitely. And know where we can get also those informations. Can I read? On internet, everyone posts what they want. Not some of the informations there are misleading.
Oh, so much is happening actually online. Yeah. So we need to really pay attention and find a strategy to play with that.
So that's why, having a conversation is always good. And for example, when I curate exhibitions and people come and have those conversations, I also learn from them. Because there are things I don't know. You can't know everything. Yeah. Even if I'm working on this subject, but I don't know maybe your testimony or someone else's, your neighbor. Yeah. There are things I get to know through those conversations.
You're also learning. You're actually attracting people who might even inspire you to even do more.
Yeah. So it's been a very interesting journey to curate exhibitions. I get to talk to people. They get to share what they're going through. I say, of course, I also share. And it's also another way to connect people, because I meet a lot of people that I would never meet maybe because we are in different settings. But if they are art lovers, they will come to an exhibition and then you can learn from them. You also get to to network. When they have a gig, they remember you because they've seen you before, and
they see you in action.
Exactly. Yes.
Nice. So when you look back to the 12 years old Jemima, do you feel like you took the right decision where you are today?
Yeah, I think that the most important thing for me is to love what I do. I love what I do. And as I told you before, the struggle is real. But when you believe in what you do and when you love it, you keep pushing. So I'm here because I love what I do, because I believe in the work that I'm doing. And better things are coming, I have hope for better things coming, and
amazing
visual artists being able to secure the bag or be paid, live from their art.
Yeah.
Be
Make
paid what we are worth.
Yeah, live a comfortable life.
Exactly.
Amazing. I feel like you are inspiring me today, and I hope especially performing artists, I say this because we face a lot of problems when it comes to supporting each other. Like in the performing area, this is something I've always mentioned. I guess every episode I always come up to that so that people don't forget that, because we have different art scenes in Rwanda. But when it comes to performing art, I don't see the unity, I started in a dance crew, Crest crew, and when we started, there was a lot of different crews, Japa Junior, Six City. That was after you had Bad Boys and Good Guys, back. But with time, we got to meet different scenes in the performing area where I worked with Mashirika, other companies. But that was always the lack, that supportive energy. Solidarity, that's supportive energy. Why I say that is because I also want to hear your thoughts and what you're thinking about that area. Because most of the times we are Rwandans, guys. We are reserved people to the Nzaho. We don't talk so much, we're just like, okay, I don't like this person, but it's okay. I'm just gonna smile, and honestly, for me, I was like, as I told you before we record this, I want to be better. For me, one of my values is to be better person, better partner, better in everything I'm doing. So I was like, I looked at myself and I looked around and I saw, I'm not gonna lie, we have gatekeepers in this art scene and they know, and I've told them. And you know, sometimes you gotta have balls to tell people what you think. Hey, nobody's perfect. I'm gonna do mistakes, and if I do mistakes, everybody
How do you correct them?
point out, say, Manzi, today you fucked up. Then I'll be like, okay, I'm sorry. I won't do this next time, you know? That's how we grow, you know? And I feel like we are all growing, and every artist has an ego. I have an ego. I'm not gonna lie. Every artist has an ego, but it's how do you control your ego? How do you manage it so that it doesn't become too much, you know? And I feel like in the performing area, for us, it's good to have a competitive energy, you know? But sometimes it's toxic. It's toxic, and many of us can see it, but everyone is just quiet, minding their own business. I'm like, we're in the same field. Why can't we just put on the table what are the problems, talk about them, see what we can do? Because everybody can win. It's a big playground.
There is enough for everyone.
There is enough.
Exactly.
The playground is like Congo. There is so much diamond there. Everyone can grab, you know? And I was like, and then some people just want to grab for themselves. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, you can do
Unless
better.
you kill me.
You're right.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, a few months ago, I complained online. You know, many of you have seen that. You know, I'm not going to be shy to say that.
It's not even complaining. It's saying the
truth.
It's
my right.
That nobody was talking about.
Yeah, it's my rights. And you know what actually made me happy? I post this and so many artists respond, and I'm like, okay, I know. Y'all are feeling the same way.
Yes.
Okay, good. But then honestly, some people disappointed me. These are people that I grew up, they saw me growing up, bro. They saw me when I was 12. They really saw me growing up, and these are actually people, they inspired me. They inspired me. You know, I'm not gonna say, oh, if I don't agree with this certain way you walk, doesn't mean that you don't inspire me. There's a certain way you inspire me for sure, you know? So many people inspires me. But the problem for me is, why do we build an ego to a point where if someone points out we are doing wrong, we can't check on ourselves and be like, oh, actually I'm wrong. Let me look back. Let me see what I can do. You know? Because at the end, I was like, we live in a world that everything right now is faster. We are recording podcasts, we are recording videos, everything is online. Information is just moving every time. And then for me, just to get straight on the point, as the struggle I wanted to see your thought about was to really point about that supportive, you know,
very important.
Because in the art scene of performing artists, we support each other. For example, like us, when I look at us artists from Nyamirambo, especially dancers, you know, performing artists, we try our best, honestly. We try our best to support each other, you know, because we love what we do. Everybody's doing themselves, you know. But then I look at the whole area of performing artists. It's a sad area. It's a sad area because there is so much that can be produced, so much that can be achieved, but it's not
when you work together.
But because people have egos, they don't want to listen. They just, as I say that the older generation and the new generation, there's a little crush, and that crush is normal. It has to happen because everyone thinks they're better. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. It's been 15 years that I'm dancing. There's so many new dancers who are amazing. Even technically good than me. I'm not gonna go there and say, and not admit that they are good. No. I'm actually gonna go there and learn from them and
why
collaborate.
Why do we even have to compare?
We can't even compare, actually.
Every artist is unique. No, right? I believe that. That's something I always talk about. Comparison is the thief of joy. Once you start comparing yourself with someone else.
No, I agree with you. But if we talk about, for example, Me, I'm a dancer. Sibyo. I can look at a dancer and be like, this dancer is actually
It's
technically good, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, that support is still small because I feel like there is a gap of communication.
Yes.
When it comes to people who have been there before us and us. That communication is just a simple communication. Oh, I hired you, I called you, come, you're gonna do this job, that's it. Okay, do it. I'm gonna pay you, that's it. But there is not this conversation of really sitting down, mentoring. For me, honestly, I've always felt like people who mentored me, there was this pressure of bullying me. Like, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. You need to do this. And there was no space for me to express and say, I actually think this way. What do you think? Because I think this way.
Yeah.
This is my vision. This is my call. You know, I never had that space. I've always just been the dancer who, performing artist who is just hired. Oh, you're going to do this. You have to do things like this. I'm like, how are we going to grow? How are we going to really discover new inspiration if we can't give each other space and also listen to each other and be like, okay, you are like this. If you want to be like this, if you go through this process, this can help you. But then this goes back on that supportive system, you know, because yes, our art scene is small. Honestly, I'm sure some people can be afraid and be like, okay, I need to make money. Right? So this can also sometimes create a problem of having miscommunication, sneaky, you know, as the problem I told you, like the problem I faced with Mashirika, for example, you know, honestly, for me, people listening to this, me, I'm a freelancer, self-made, I'm happy. I always say thank you so much to everybody who contributed. And I'm not those person who forgets. Big shout out to Mashirika, big shout out to Wesley, big shout out to Lespas, big shout out to everybody who contributed to my art. But if I see you doing something that I don't really see is clean, I'm not gonna stay quiet. My dad and mom didn't raise me for me to be someone who is just there and quiet and let people step on other people and just stay quiet. It's okay. I can look like that artist in the art scene who has balls, who talks so much. It's okay.
Right.
But deep down, people understand why I say that because they're gonna thank me later. Otherwise, Manzi Mbaya is the next gatekeeper. I'm telling you. And then, inshallah, if God gives me life, let's say in 15 years, if nothing changes, I'm the next gatekeeper. Kids are coming and I'm just like, go down. Because why? Because I'm growing up. I'm afraid. I'm like, because I think I have to be always there. I don't know. This is a conversation, me too, I need people to put their thoughts on because you know, right? So I think it's every time it's curious, it's things I'm brainstorming and I feel like it's mixed with frustrations and I want people also to, if they relate, to also tell me what they think so that I don't feel stupid, you know? So now the point gets on the visual art scene. Like you are a collective of women. Now, men who are in visual artists, when they see Avengers of women coming, how is that balance now? Is it supportive or it's like
both ways?
Both ways.
So to start with the solidarity part, I'm happy that we were able to create the collective. And I think one of the things that inspired us is the lack of visibility for women artists. When you are invisible, you are not getting the support as well. People are curating exhibitions and they never call you as a woman artist or even it doesn't have to be me. Call another woman artist. I'll be very happy.
Balance.
Yeah, exactly. So there were a lot of exhibitions. 5 men, 6, 7. And when we came on board and when I started curating exhibitions, some people would come at exhibition and say, why don't you have women artists? They never asked them the same question.
Why don't you have women artists?
Exactly. They never ask them that when they think it's a male-dominant field and it's normal not to have a woman.
Yeah.
It's not because women artists are not there, but it has always been like that. And it's not only in Rwanda, it's worldwide. The
Definitely,
lack of visibility.
definitely.
That's why creating, platforms that give visibility, space, and opportunities to women artists is very important. So in the visual arts in general, to say it's not far from what you were facing, because there are some pioneers that has done a lot. When you talk about, for example, Ivuka Art Center, it was created by...
I've heard a lot of Ivuka.
Yes, that guy, like most
But I've heard
artists,
mixed things, good things and bad things.
So what I'm going to say is that a lot of people came from there. When the money comes in, sometimes things don't go well, but we cannot forget to highlight or even appreciate what has been done.
Yeah.
Because I believe that art gallery formed a lot of artists and they learned a lot from that place. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect as well, but at least you cannot, forget or erase, what they have done. So now the industry is growing, but most artists came from there. At least they created that platform.
Yeah.
Because there are other artists who had the capacity to support other artists who did nothing. You see, you get.
Yeah, I guess.
So I'm talking about it because I appreciate what they did. They had a supportive system which supported other artists. Even if you say that there are things you heard, nobody's perfect. But there were some other artists who could support upcoming artists, but they did not do it. So let's give them their flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I think that for me, things are changing because as I was telling you, I think we should promote the mindset of community over competition. I'm not competing with anyone.
Yeah.
I am myself, and I have a way of understanding things or things I believe in that I will put in my exhibitions. There is another curator or another artist who is working on something else. So every time I get an opportunity to work with someone, I will, because I believe that this is how I grow. I'm learning from them, and we are also together contributing to the growth of the visual art industry. Because if artists can live from their art, if we are getting opportunities, it will get to everyone because there is enough for everyone. And I believe that if one visual artist, for example, can be selected to go in a residency, for example, in Australia, next time when you need a visa as an artist, they will know that Mbaya went and came back. It will be easy for you to access that. You get?
Definitely.
Yeah. So things were different before.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of things I would hear from here and there and what. But I don't know. I never focus on that. And I always support people when I can, because I'm also grateful for people who supported me. And we are trying also with Rwandan women artists, even if we are a collective of women artists, but we attend exhibitions of male artists and everyone. And we are promoting the sense of solidarity, share opportunities.
Yeah.
If there is something you think I can, fit, like something to apply for, and you think I can fit, share the opportunity with me. Because you might refuse to share it with me and someone else does, and I get selected, you don't.
Yeah.
So there is enough for everyone, and what is yours will always come back to you.
Yeah.
And it's changing. I'm happy to see that at least with the new energy and everything, the mindset is changing. That's something we always I myself personally always talk about. Let's support each other. I'm happy if you are happy. If you are making money, I'm happy for you. It shouldn't be about me not being happy for you because you have more money or you're getting more opportunities. Because when we work together, we get far faster.
Easy.
So you can't do it alone. Yeah.
Teamwork.
Right.
Makes
that
it
one.
work.
Yes.
But I don't want also people who are listening to feel like, this guy, he always complains. No, guys, I need to be honest.
Someone has
real.
to say it, to be honest.
So many things have changed in such a good way, Before you would tell people, oh, I'm a performing artist, I'm a dancer, and they would look at you with an eye. Or you have a girlfriend, you go to her parents' house, you say, I'm a dancer. Who's this guy? Did you bring her? Don't bring him again. Okay.
Now when you talk about those things, to be honest, for me it's a good thing, because most people are afraid to share what they think because they don't want to be seen like that. But for you, you're like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it, because you can't believe how many people would read that and be like, thank God someone said it, because they don't have that. They can't say it themselves.
And it's okay. Not everybody has to have it.
And it's also challenging the art practitioners. In the past years, I remember a conversation we were having with an artist, that some project would come and sponsor the same artist for 3 years. But now, for example, I don't know if it's okay to even mention a name. Recently, Goethe Institut has launched a call. They want to support artists, performers, artists, projects. But they've put a call out there. They got a lot of applications. I also applied, but I wasn't selected. But I'm still happy. You know why? Because now they're sharing opportunities with everyone.
That's nice.
I'm very happy. It doesn't have to be me. But at least it's something I would
that everybody will go there, apply.
Yes.
Then they select.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be sneaky and passing around there.
Yes. So there is a change also into that. And I'm happy to see that those things are happening.
Yeah.
And I hope that they inspire other people who have money for the art to also put the call out there. You can't be working with the same person for 15 years, right? No. There are some upcoming artists in rural area, in the north or in the south, but they also need opportunities.
Yeah.
Because I remember there is an organization that sponsored my exhibition, and my artist friend told me, I saw that they sponsored your exhibition and saw that a lot of things have changed. I was very happy, and I will approach them, because it wasn't the case before. Because he has been in the industry before me. He knew all the struggle. Because me, before, I was more into getting jobs from, NGOs or participating in exhibitions. But I did not know the part of applying for funds. So he's been there before. He told me because of the challenges he has faced.
Yeah.
So we are very happy that if you can say that, trust me, it's a good thing. Someone is listening and they'll put it into consideration next time. Yeah.
We're doing it for, honestly, everyone. I do it for myself personally, and then I do it for the art scene.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Someone
has to say things,
It's a journey.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that you actually just need to be in the present and observe, learn, and just be on that journey, So that's my journey, and that's everybody's journey. We are all on it. Thank you so much. It's been so nice to have you here. But before I let you go, I want you to just give an advice, to fellow women who are out there, they're maybe doing their craft art right there in the corner. They're just shy to share it, and maybe, just to reassure.
Yeah, that has been one of the challenges, because I've been told that I did not make a piece myself, As a woman, some people will be like, did you make this? Did you make that? They don't believe in you, but, and it can affect you. If you are not yet where you feel like, I believe in myself, I know what I'm doing. So advices I would give to women artists is that they should show their work. Don't hide it. Share it with other people. Take their comments, and not in a negative way. So my advice for women artists is to believe in themselves, because I know they can do it. Not everyone is an artist. So if you found yourself in the arts, or if you love it, just do the work, of course, and believe in yourself. Don't hide your work. Share it with the world and see what they think about it. That's how we grow, And of course, if those who are in Rwanda, they can always come to me and ask me questions, because I'm happy to share from my experience, or opportunities if they're there, of course. Because I'm also always looking for women artists in Kigali and outside Kigali, Rwandan women artists. Yes. I think that's it. To believe in themselves and know that they can do it, and never stop learning. Read, have a conversation with other artists, support other artists as well, because when you attend an exhibition, you see how other people are working. You get inspired. Yeah. You can learn from them, and see how they're doing things. Learn from them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, after you believing in yourself, I'm sure the Jemima we have today, if you didn't believe in yourself first, it would have been hard for you to be here.
It's a journey,
right?
It's also a journey. Yeah. Through what we learn, through what we go through, with the experience and everything. I think one of the things that has helped me as well is my curiosity and me reading, because in books, every writer expressed themselves differently, and there is a lot of things we learn through reading. Yeah, reading has helped me a lot. It's one of the things that I would recommend, to read about different things, and also do the self-discovery journey, because it's important to know yourself and who you are.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So now when you look at Jemima, when you look at yourself, what are the things you have achieved that you look at, you celebrate them, that you would want to share to people, so that they can also be inspired and be like, oh, I want to be like that one day. I want to achieve that also one day.
There is a lot, and some of them are very small things you might not consider as something very important, but when people love my work and buy it, and when I see that my work has contributed to the well-being of a person, for example, if it's about self-discovery, if it's about self-love, or you regaining your hope about life, if it's something you can, my artwork can inspire you to do, or it can speak to you one way or another, it makes you feel good. That's something that is very important to me. Some other things will be have been nominated for Forbes Women Social Impact Award 2020-23.
Big.
And thanks. It came as a motivation. It made me feel seen, and to see that people, when you are working, people are, they are following you.
You never know. People are looking at you.
Exactly. Yes. And it feels good to be, to be recognized like that.
Yeah.
And recently, I was also part of the Rwanda Women Changemakers book that was produced by Kivina and Imagine We. It was part of the Women Deliver. So to see that they chose 32 women, and I was on the list with,
Greatness.
right?
Greatness.
I was very happy. It validated me and the work that I'm doing, and I was very happy to be part of those Rwandan Women Changemakers.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Honestly, well deserved.
Thank you.
But it's also greatness, it's really, it's amazing to be great, but it's not easy to be great. Yeah, so it's an achievement, and everybody can achieve it if really they put in work and the right
Yes, exactly.
action
Yes.
to it, and the passion, and
Yeah, they
believing
can do
themselves.
it. They can even get, they can be more and better, as long as you are working. And we should just, do what we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And people are watching. You never know, but
You never
people are
know.
watching.
Definitely.
And of course, it's always good to be recognized for the work you are doing. It's motivating. It makes you feel like,
Yeah.
it makes you feel seen, and you can get also other opportunities from that. But we just, as long as we're alive, we just have to work as women artists, as visual artists in general, not only women, because I also have supportive brothers in the arts, whom, I work with in my everyday life, and they've been there.
Amazing.
And they support me. So I'm grateful for all the support and friends who, mention our names in rooms full of opportunities. That's how we get opportunities.
Of course.
Your friend will talk about you somewhere, and then you don't know, an opportunity comes.
Just making sure you surround yourself with good people, good energy around you.
True.
Big up to yourself.
Thank you.
Honestly, big up to yourself. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I always feel like it's a pleasure to host amazing artists, to inspire me, to inspire everybody listening. Big shout out to you guys, listeners. Don't give up on me, and I know you haven't given up on me. As I told you earlier before we record this, you mentioned that consistency is the key,
Yeah.
And I also believe that without having the right quality that I wanted to offer to people, I wasn't going to give them the consistency they wanted. But here we are.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful and happy. But I want you to share your social media handles for new listeners who actually maybe are not familiar with your work.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, of course. And it's the same name, Kakizi Jemima, Kakizi. Jemima is G as in Japan.
Nice.
Emima.
Amazing. We're going to mention that also on the video on this episode. Thank you guys for listening to the #1 podcast in the country. I told you, the Journey Podcast. I'm your host, Manzi, Mbaya. We had Jemima in the house. Big shout out to the whole team behind. Always a pleasure to be with you guys on this microphone. So I see you on the next episode. Bye.